Good evening. It is Wednesday, May 4th. It's Star Wars Day, so may the 4th be with you. It is 8:41 p.m. This is Rightward News, where we aim to expose the satanic, progressive, leftist, mainstream Democrat narrative and flip it upside down onto its head. We have a very special night tonight. We have a special guest who I will be introducing here in just a moment. Tonight, we'll be talking about some big news. If you have been watching the news at all, you will probably have seen that there was a leak from the United States Supreme Court. It was a draft of the what's it called? It's the opinion or the letter sharing that they are preparing to overturn Roe versus Wade. So we'll be talking about that a little bit. We'll be talking about the Democrats' double standards when it comes to the events of the nation. And we're going to end tonight with a very fun update from the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. I'm going to jump into this first story just before we introduce our first guest. Let's see. Let me pull up the story here. All right. From CNN, the most trusted news source. These companies will help staff in red states bypass abortion bans. So, as you may have heard this week, there was a leak. Let me see if I can find the actual article. Let's see. Supreme Court leak. This is an unprecedented event in our nation's government. So I was close when it comes to the when it came to the title. Let's see if I can share this. Give me one moment. All right, here we go. Gotta share this tab with you. All right. The Supreme Court has voted to overturn abortion rights, the draft opinion shows. So this is big news. So this draft opinion, so that means that it's the opinion from the justice. And I believe this was, it was Justice Alito. It was his draft that somehow got leaked. Now, one thing that you may not understand about the Supreme Court is there's a very small group of people who have access to this information. The means by which they share information and distribute these drafts among themselves and their staff, there is a very secure intranet that the Supreme Court uses that is not accessible or doesn't have access to the outside world. It's not connected to the internet. So the fact that this was actually leaked means that there was someone out of this small group of people. From what I remember hearing, each justice has maybe 3 to 5 assistants. Again, I forget what they're called. And then there are some lower level staff, which maybe another 5 to 10. So it's a very small group. So they've been able to possibly identify who it was that leaked it. But anyways, so you've probably heard that news already. But and what this means is not that abortion will be illegal. What it does is it basically sends it back to the states to determine, which is good because there are already a ton of red states who are making it illegal. And not only are they making it illegal, but there are a lot of states that even though they may not have made it illegal yet, they have created these trigger laws so that when Roe versus Wade does get overturned, it automatically makes it illegal in that state. But this is some horrible news here. Amazon, they've shared with their company that they will pay up to $4,000 in travel expenses annually for medical treatment, including abortions. Other companies that are offering similar support to their employees are Citigroup, Yelp, Uber, Lyft. And here's some other details. So Citigroup, let's see, they're going to provide travel benefits to facilitate access to adequate resources to their employees. This one is really sad. Levi Strauss, the clothing company, under Levi's benefits plan, employees can be reimbursed for travel expenses for services not available in their home state. Now, for me, this is tragic because I have loved Levi's jeans for almost all of my life. They're classically American and classically Californian. It's a company who has a rich history in not just America, but in California. They've been based out of California. The history goes back to the gold rush. Just a couple more. Lyft and Uber, who you shouldn't be surprised. They're a tech company based out of the Bay Area, Silicon Valley. Obviously, a very liberal company. They announced that they're going to create a legal defense fund to protect drivers who might be sued under the Texas law for driving a person who receives an abortion. And they're also going to donate $1 million to Planned Parenthood. Salesforce, this is just outrageous. The CEO of Salesforce, who's a humongous software company, the CEO tweeted, speaking to family, he's using the Hawaiian word for family, ohana. If you want to move out of Texas, he's saying, they will help you exit. So let's see. So because of this, I brought up this story because I felt it's really important just to share how important it is for us to vote with our dollar. We may not have the influence or the means to fight these companies, but we can hit them where it hurts, and that's their pocketbook. And we're seeing this with Disney. Disney and Netflix this year have both shared massive losses in profits because people are seeing or people are doing what I'm saying. And sorry, they're not doing what I'm saying, but they're doing the same thing that I am suggesting to you, which is to vote with your dollar and not support these companies who don't share your same values. So to come and talk a little bit more about this abortion issue, which I understand is a really hot topic, it's a very sensitive topic. I wanted to share for the first guest on Rightward News, my wife, my helpmate, Melissa Elguera. Melissa, welcome to Rightward News.
Hey.
So it's your first time, and I just realized I
Yeah.
can't hear you. So I'm gonna grab some headphones real quick. It's not you, it's me.
It's you. Oh, you can't hear me, but I can be heard.
I still can't hear you. I can
That's
hear
okay.
you talking from the
It
other
says my
room.
mic is on. It says I'm not muted.
I
It says I'm not muted.
all right.
I'll just
I can
wait
hear
for
you
you.
from the other room saying you're not muted, which is great.
Can you hear me now? Nope, it's not plugged in.
Let's see here. All right, so now I have to adjust my settings now that I have some headphones.
He probably should have planned this before he asked me to come on. I'm just saying.
All right.
He's going to go back and listen to this. Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I was talking about
you. Are you insulting the host of this show on his own show?
A little bit. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Just
Melissa,
slightly.
welcome to Rightward News.
Thank you.
So I remember when I first started talking about this show and talking about how I would want to bring on some guests, and I asked if you'd be interested. I remember you specifically saying that you would be interested in talking about this issue of abortion.
Hmm. Yeah.
So before we jump into it, give a little bit of an introduction to who you are and some of the work that you do.
Okay. Well, I'm Melissa, and I am a life coach. And particularly, my niche is identity. So that's why this is really important to me, because I believe that every person has value and worth and an identity. And so that's why this has been something that's really personal to me. And I don't know, like I'm a mom of two, and I used to do hair full time. And now I'm kind of transitioning over into life coaching, which has been pretty awesome and super successful. Wow, what's going on over there on the other side of the house?
Sorry, I switched my microphone or my headphone input.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, everything's
Yeah.
all good.
So
Everything's gravy.
that's about it. That's about it. That's about it.
All
Yep.
right.
And I'm married
Well,
to you. So there we go.
that's the best thing about you. Um,
Wow.
your
It's quite
your your finest
presumptuous. No, I'm
your
kidding.
finest quality. Um, sorry, my volume. Let's see. Figure this thing out.
I mean, it sounds fine to me. So
Yeah,
you're good.
it's just my own ears that I'm trying to adjust. All
Oh,
right,
I see.
so we're talking about abortion and this huge historic uh, moment in our nation's history.
Hmm.
And I know you have a pretty deep issue. No, you have a deep interest in the issue of abortion. How did that begin?
Well, actually, I wrote a research paper on it in high school, um, because it was such an impactful thing. I felt like it's such a huge decision to abort your child. And so I did a lot of research on how it affected the person that was getting the abortion, what it was like for them down the road. Actually, now that I think about it, I had a huge interest in the trauma responses that women that were getting abortions were having. And a lot of it was super significant, the trauma that they were receiving from either what happened when they were getting abortions, or maybe they weren't facing and feeling what was going on, so they would have nightmares, and it was just really horrific. Nightmares of body parts, and what happened to them, they weren't really sure. So I think, like, even if they went into the abortion with knowledge and being told like it was just a bunch of cells, and nothing more, even if it was like early on in their pregnancy, they were still having a lot of trauma based on the abortions that they had had. So that kind of piqued my interest in it a little further.
Right.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit earlier about this issue and specifically about how one of the noticeable issues with the left and the Democrat Party is that when it comes to lots of policies, well, lots of their policies and their beliefs, there are a couple things that you really start to notice when you're paying attention and watching the trends. And one of the main things that you notice, or that you can uh, deduce from their policy, is that they really the two things are they don't have a moral compass, and um, second, it is that they don't value life. And now I'm
Mhm.
not going to speak and attribute that to every person who is a Democrat, but generally, when you look at the policies and the decisions of the party as a whole, that seems to generally be the case.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not quite into politics as much as you are. Um, but I think that there's specific issues that we definitely are divided on, Republican, Democrat, there's specific issues that are really important, that just don't seem to be something that we can agree on for sure, you know. And I think it is based on the difference between a moral compass and having one and not having one. So,
Yeah, and one thing that we've seen in the past, and this goes back over 100 years. Um, a perfect example of this is the issue of slavery. Um, uh, for some reason, um, the Republican Party or conservatives were given this image of being like racist redneck hillbillies.
mm,
Um, I mean, you see it. There's with the Confederate flag. Even now, I'm not saying I'm not trying to make a statement about the Confederate flag. Um, however, um, things like that have given that image to a lot of conservatives that they are kind of these racist rednecks. But when you look back at the issue of slavery in the Civil War, is actually the Democratic Party who was um, opposed to the abolition of slavery.
mm,
So we start to see a lot of these hypocrisies when you depending on what the issue is and depending on whether the issues are in their favor or not. And so if you don't mind, Melissa, I want to just bring up a couple of um, these hypocrisies that we've seen, especially this and with this issue of slavery. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, I'm not going to try and I want to do this in a lighthearted way. I don't want to just come on here and be like, yeah, all you Democrats are hypocrites. But I think that there is something ironic about when you see them doing one thing in an issue that is in their favor versus an issue that is against their favor. Is that fair?
I mean, yeah, I think that sometimes we believe our own lies. Like we start to believe our own lies, and then it becomes our truth. So I think that that's what I hear you saying, is like it seems like it's the ball's rolled in so many weird directions that it's not really clear, like the truth. So
Yeah. So
to
I'm going
them.
to pull right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a great point. So I'm gonna pull up this next story from Politico. I'm sorry, not Politico. This is from Insider. So, Governor of California, um, our home state. Don't you love Gavin Newsom, Melissa?
I'm fine with it. I'm like, you know what? I love him. I'm just gonna love him.
You're a better woman than I am. Well, I
I
mean,
definitely am a better woman than you are.
obviously, you're a better woman. You are a better woman than I will ever be, no matter what
And
I'm
that's for sure too.
identifying, whatever day. But you're a better person than I am. So, California Governor Gavin Newsom Tuesday proposed building a statewide constitutional firewall around abortion rights. He's said in the past that he wants to be a sanctuary state for abortions. But here's the thing that I find really ironic is he has been so opposed to um, the slowing of immigration and building a border wall. However, when it comes to abortion, he is willing to throw the full force of the California government to build a firewall for abortion rights.
Yeah, that seems super odd.
Um, he made a statement which may not be in this article. Um, yeah, it must have been a different article that I read. It was something absolutely ridiculous, and I'm bummed that I wonder if I have a screenshot of this because I certainly hope I do. And it looks like I did not save it. Oh well. I'll do better next time. All right. The next story I know I mentioned to you, Melissa. This is one of the independent news shows that I like to watch. And for some reason, I lost all my tabs here, so now I have to re-add them.
Well, can I just say something as you're looking for that? I was just thinking it was you were talking about something and it just triggered a memory and I was going to tell you this actually earlier.
Hmm.
But I feel like we're like in this really weird um I don't even know what to call it. It's just odd that we are um saying like in one sense like women's rights and then like in the next sense we're like taking away women like with this gender thing, like this gender identity thing. And I've noticed it because I was in the beauty industry for so long. I noticed that a lot of the models that were coming in were males that were wearing makeup. And then I just noticed like um now I'm seeing males that are dressing like women in advertisements. And so I just feel like we're like, I feel like as a woman, like we're like trying to be all like in for ourselves, like in feminism, but it's actually being totally ripped away from us at the same time. And it seems really odd. Just the state that we're in right now as a country. And I know you're trying to be funny, but like it seems kind of odd to me that this is the state that we're in.
It is, and it comes back to the focus of your coaching, which is identity.
Hmm.
And we see this in a lot of these issues is that they are trying to remove they're trying to remove our true identity because, and maybe you can speak to this a little bit, but if they can remove our true identity and give us a false identity or an identity that's based on anything else, um, then I mean we are weak. We can't stick up for the things that are right. Um, we can't be successful members of society in any meaningful way.
Oh yeah, it's an epitome of confusion. If you're actually you don't know who you are and then now you're having to change who you are and then how many people that have now changed who they are then don't like that either and there's still something wrong like deep on the inside. Like how are you going to function as a person? No, you're going to be confused and disoriented and not actually being able to function properly. And I think that that's what a lot of people are missing. We're just starting this. We're just starting within the last, what, 2 years to really push, this like identity thing. And so we don't know the actual outcome of what this is going to look like. We're just starting to see some pushback based on, sports like with the swimmer issue or the man that's swimming in the woman league. It's just all confusing now. And then and my heart breaks for the person that is transgender that's in the swimming because now like they're wanting to get acceptance, they're needing acceptance, and now they're really publicly not getting acceptance. So it's a huge issue. There's more damage that's actually being done. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really confusing to me as I'm like watching and don't know what direction we're going in as people. Scary.
Well, I can only hope that things turn around quickly because there's been studies of history and in a lot of these studies about the falls of large societies. Like if you take an example of the fall of Rome, the Roman Empire, and one of the things that historians have noticed is that when these large empires or one of the things that happens right before these large empires fall is that um, they start to get funny or weird about gender. And
Really? This is
yeah,
like historical, like what you've read? That's
yeah,
incredible. Like that and that's terrifying, actually.
yeah. So that's something we can get into on another episode.
Yep.
But back to the hypocrisy of the left. I wish I had like a fun little zinger, like do 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 hypocrisy.
Oh, jeez.
I need a producer. If anyone's out there watching this right now, we have one viewer who might be myself on my phone. But if
Yeah,
anyone's
might
out
be.
there watching, want to help produce this show, maybe you have some graphic skills, some video skills, some bow hunting skills. Leave a comment, and yeah, let's blow this thing up. All right, so let's get into this next story. We're going to talk about how silly these lefties are. Twitter, they allowed a post from Vice, which is I can't really call them a news organization, maybe a media culture.
I'm sorry, but just the horse. Like, I just can't with the horse. And like the hair's like blowing like
Well,
in the back. It's like, anyways,
it's a very flamboyant horse.
Yeah.
So this is from Timcast, an independent journalism culture organization. You may have heard of the Timcast IRL podcast. It's one of the biggest news commentary podcasts on YouTube. On his news site, this article says Twitter allows a post promoting do-it-yourself abortion alternative on their platform. Vice, the news organization, promotes a horse drug called misoprostol, whatever. This is what it is.
Wait.
for-
I thought, isn't like that ivermectin a horse drug?
So
Or something?
ivermectin, ironically,
Sorry, I just
is a medication that was also used to treat heartworm in horses.
Oh, I thought
And
that was like a big no ban too. So
it
this is
was
okay?
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
You could get banned off of Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. You can get demonetized. You can get your posts flagged and tagged just for promoting ivermectin, which is an off-label drug, which is used for the treatment of many issues, and it's safe and effective. It's been used to treat millions of people all over the world with very little side effects. We may know some people who may have used it when they got COVID.
Just a few.
No
one really close though.
Safe and effective. But this was, when I saw this, it just made me crack up. The fact that the left was so adamant about restricting the use of what they called horse paste for the use of COVID. However, when it comes to an issue that they don't like, abortion, they are absolutely okay with using horse medicine to and do-it-yourself abortion pills. In this post, it links to a video describing how to illegally acquire this drug and induce a medical abortion. And
wow, at like how many weeks? I'm curious. Does it say?
Let's see.
So this is not like Plan B.
Ulcers.
This is different than Plan B. This is stronger than Plan B. Yeah.
I'm not very familiar with either. Let's see. It explains how to manufacture the medicine to induce an abortion with the guidance of a medical professional. It doesn't say how far along it works.
It's interesting because birth control, I guess, is something like from horses too. And they've actually found like a lot of like some of the side effects are really bad, from that. So I want to put it in my body. No, thank
Oh,
you.
heck no.
Nope.
All right.
Horse pee. I think actually it's
Oh,
pregnant horse pee. I think that's what I'm pretty sure. I don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that, but I'm almost certain some of the birth controls are that. You can Google it if you want. You can fact check it if you want.
I'm actually going to pull up a different article for later on in the show. All right. So this next story, I don't know why all my tabs are messed up, but it's
It
kind
seems
of
to be a
annoying.
common problem. Yeah. I do watch the show.
Oh, I appreciate that. All right. So this next story is this next example of hypocrisy is from our very own former Vice President Joe Biden, our gaslighter in chief. So if we go back, this is also from the Timcast news site. On Monday evening, a leaked document from the Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito indicated they were going to overturn Roe versus Wade. We know that. We've talked about that. Tuesday, President Biden released a statement saying, quote, "I believe that a woman's right to choose is fundamental. Roe has been the law of the land for almost 50 years, and basic fairness and the stability of our law demand that it not be overturned." Well, I don't know if Joe Biden was talking in his sleep or what, but if we go back to 1982, this was 40 years ago. That's how long
Yep.
this man has been in office. Just a lifelong
That was the
politician.
year I was born. So there you go. As long as I've been alive.
In 92, get this, when Biden was a senator from Delaware, he voted to end.
Oh, wait. No, that's 82. 82.
82. That's what I said.
You said 92.
Oh, well, at first I said 82 because it was 40 years ago. So I may have said 92 again the second time.
82.
But 1982, when Biden was a senator from Delaware, he voted to end Roe versus Wade.
Wow.
So
interesting.
what we're seeing now is now that I'm guessing it's because his party is very hardline on this issue. He'll do anything to make sure the party succeeds at any cost. It goes on to say, in March of 1982, Biden was among those lawmakers to vote in support of the amendment because he said, quote, "I'm probably a victim or a product, however you want to phrase it, of my background," citing his Catholic upbringing. So, I mean, it's known that he is supposedly devout Catholic. Supposedly he goes to mass on a regular basis.
Which
but
I'm certain that they don't agree with birth control. Like
absolutely.
Or they didn't at one point. I don't know. I know a lot of people who have lots of kids because they were Catholic and not allowed to have birth control.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's still the case. I mean, but we've seen the Catholic Church come out and say, and I don't know if they've actually enforced this, but there's been cardinals in the Catholic Church who have said that Biden should be denied communion, the sacraments, because of his current stances on issues like abortion.
Wow.
Let's see.
I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't make it for anything. Sorry. I was just thinking I wouldn't make it like at the Catholic Church with that, like not this, but it's pretty hard line, I'd already be out.
Absolutely. So I wanted to touch on one quick note before we end.
Yeah, we got to end because they're dying.
Oh no!
My AirPods.
All right.
I know. 10%.
Yeah, we're going a little long because there's someone else to share the talking with. So I'm going to jump into this really quick.
What's that like for you as we share this talking?
What do you mean?
Yeah, you said there's somebody you share talking with. You're not having to talk to yourself the whole time. What's that
Well,
like?
I enjoy having a co-host.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you
cool.
should be a regular guest on this show.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm a little tired.
So it is primary season. Um, those midterm elections are starting to pick up, and I just want to encourage everybody to start doing your research on your candidates. We're starting to get flyers in the mail. Just figure out who will be the best candidate for your area, who is America first, who's not going to put up with the liberal agenda, who's not going to coddle to um, those who want to groom our children and put and try to expose them to sexuality and pornography at an early age. This was a really neat story I heard. Let's see, yesterday. This brand new politician. He's
Now to Ohio's
whoa. Sorry,
Senate
stop
race,
it.
and J.D. Vance beating out several other Republicans, sealing that nomination tonight. So I believe
Guess we're watching it.
proud and accepting the nomination. So let's listen in.
Here we go.
Flood us with even worse drugs, the fentanyl that's made in communist China. How about we put them both in jail, ladies and gentlemen? Why don't we do that?
All right. So this guy. He's not a politician, but he decided to jump into the primary for for Ohio's open Senate seat. He's the author of the book and movie Hillbilly Elegy. Elegy. And he came to prominence because not only because of his book and his movie, or the movie that was made after his book, but because he was endorsed by Donald Trump. And we've seen that Donald Trump has a pretty good track record for those who he endorses actually getting the nominations and eventually voted into office. So this was a really cool story. Just a normal guy, had a rough upbringing, made something of his life, and wanted to make a difference, and decided to go into office. So I just want to share this because it's a really neat story, sort of a rags to riches in a sense. But I say this just to encourage everyone to look into your local elections, because that is where the change really happens, is in your neighborhoods, whether it be your school boards, your city councils, your local representatives, etc., etc.
Yeah, like I just echo that school board. It is good to go to.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
I think that they're sick of us, but that's all right.
That's good. You know what? It was the Department of Homeland Security who said that they wanted to go after parents who attend their local school board as domestic terrorists.
Whoa. Wow.
Lock me up, because
Well,
I'm
no,
going to do.
No, don't lock him up. But I mean, really?
But I'm gonna. That is really what they said, and I'm gonna do what it
Oh,
takes
you need to
for.
find that because I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll show you
That's-
after this.
That's insanity.
We'll go a little bit later. I'll just pull this up really quick.
Just a little bit. My headphones are off now.
All right, Homeland Security, parents, terrorists.
And we have been on a slippery slope, like for a while. Like I think the last 2.5 years, super slippery slope. I mean, that's basically saying that as a parent, like you can't have free speech for your children. You can't make decisions for them. It's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, what they're saying is that they want to parent your kids. They don't want parent involvement because what that means is that they can indoctrinate your kids, they can groom your kids. Oh, come on.
But
Seriously,
don't our
Fox?
dollars pay for their salaries? Like pay for the schools? Hello, like I have a right to say whatever I want because I'm paying for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Here's that
Whether
story.
whether anybody's in school or not, like you're still paying for it if you're in your county.
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. All right, so this is from Fox News. This was a little bit ago. This was October of last year. The Justice Department, the DOJ, is facing a wave of backlash as parents criticize its recent decision to investigate potential acts of violence against school boards across the country. The School Board Association asked the Biden administration for assistance, suggesting that the threats and acts of violence were similar to domestic terrorism. So,
Really?
really, what this is saying, the School Board Association, is they don't like the fact that parents are coming and actually um, expressing their anger and dissatisfaction in what they're doing in terms of how they are trying to educate our kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, uh, I've talked and thought about and considered getting into politics at some point, and one of the things that I think is really important is school choice and parental involvement. I love what Florida's done with the parental rights and education law, where parents actually get to know what is being taught in their students' classroom.
Yeah. I think we requested to do Zoom and the sex education course that they were doing for our daughter's class, and we were denied that. So she didn't do it. But it's
That's
okay.
right.
We already taught her about that long ago. Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know that that was something that was said. It's just shocking.
It is. All right. So I want to end on somewhat of a light note. Um, in this show, I don't want to keep it focused on politics. I want to include things like art, culture, um, entertainment. And so I'm going to bring this story. Um, and this is from the oh so respected People magazine. Today, in the trial, the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial, Amber Heard, Johnny Depp's ex-wife, took the stand for the first time. Um, let's see. Yeah, she took the stand for the first time to begin her testimony. Johnny Depp is suing her for defamation because of an article that she wrote where she accused him of domestic violence and of domestic abuse. She said here, quote, "I'm here because my ex-husband is suing me." And she, it's so hard with these trials with celebrities like this, especially in an instance like this where they are professional actors.
Yeah, good actors. Yeah.
I don't know if it showed her, but she totally brought on the the crocodile tears in
Mhm.
her time on the stand. Um, but the reason why I wanted to bring this up, first of all, I've been following it um, a little bit, but one of the funniest things that came from her testimony was that when she was early on when they were dating, and um, I think Johnny Depp was in recovery of some sort from I think alcoholism from alcohol. But she made the point that Johnny Depp drank a lot of tea, and she
Hmm.
and she mentioned it a few times. She said he drank so much tea, like lots and lots and lots of tea.
Mhm.
and she mentioned it multiple times, and it just really made me laugh. I wish I could get it. I'm gonna
It
try and
made you
find. What's that?
Well, I'm just wondering what about it was like cracking you up that she was talking about the tea. Maybe it's trauma related. I don't know. Something with
It,
the tea.
it just seemed so random, so out of place. It was just
Mm,
it it didn't add anything to her testimony. She was
mhm,
talking about, she met him, she would hang out with him, she'd go over to his house,
mm,
he'd be smoking cigarettes and he'd be drinking tea,
hmm,
and he would drink so just lots and lots and lots of tea.
yeah.
And in all the witness testimony, in Johnny Depp's time on the stand, no one mentioned the fact that Johnny Depp drank a lot of tea,
Mm,
but for some reason it just ended up being something that she placed a lot of emphasis on.
hmm, yeah. Who knows? People are
So
funny.
yes, well, it has been a wonderful time, Melissa. I so appreciate you coming on here. I want to end with reading a comment that someone left on our channel. It is not our channel, is my channel. This is my show.
It's your
My
show.
show. This is
Yeah.
my show. Um, and so I want to find this comment. I want to make a point of doing this. When we get comments, when you leave us live comments during the show, I want to make a point of reading it out because I want interaction with the audience. So let me find this really quick. I don't remember which video it was on. Let's see. It wasn't this one. Maybe I should mute this. All right, here we go. I just need to switch this really quick. Melissa, how has it been your first time on Rightward News?
Yeah, it's been good and interesting. Hmm.
Yeah, you think you'll want to come back?
Sure.
Did I scare you away?
No, I'm not scared very easily.
All right, well,
Mm-mm.
that's good. All right, I'm going to pop this up on the screen.
Are you posting the comment up here? Are you showing that?
I'm going to put it up.
Wow.
Yes. All
Let's
right.
see that.
This comment comes from Quan7. I lost it. Dang it. Where'd you go?
It's right there. I see it.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, wait.
Quan7. Thanks for watching, Quan7. You said a thief is double crossed after a heist between an arsonist and a murderer. I feel sorry for none.
I have
Thanks,
no idea.
Quan7. I don't know, but keep bringing them. We appreciate it here on Rightward News. I'm gonna start the music. I love this lo-fi music. Don't you love lo-fi music, Melissa?
I love lo-fi music.
All right, this is just for you as we outro. This has been another episode of Rightward News. If you enjoyed this stream, go ahead and tickle that like button. Share this video with someone who needs a quick news update that is honest, factual, and to the point. Maybe it's not always quick. Maybe sometimes we're a little long-winded. But nevertheless, we hope that this will be honest, factual, to the point, and give a perspective that really represents your values. And lastly, leave a comment, share what you'd like to see. You want to see more commentary, more interviews with awesome people like Melissa. You want to see less fluff, more just to the point news stories, let us know. And lastly, when life leaves you a little confused, continue rightward. See you next time. Goodbye.